Okay, well, that hurt my eardrums a little bit, Jimmy.
You should feel the blast.
I did.
Good.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hey, welcome back to the Regular Dad. We're back in our home studio location. We have some things that we're working on outside of here. Some people that we're talking to, some more interviews that we want to do, and different things. But actually today, and I don't know if maybe I participate in two of these podcast type things because they're, it's like therapy,
Right.
So maybe that's actually.
Well, I think that's why a lot of people do this kind of stuff.
But anyway, so we're going to revisit a topic that that Bill and I have out on Divergent Sense. When we were talking about this beforehand, it's kind of like I was sitting there, and I'm delivering this content, and Bill, he's walking through it, and he's adding all these anecdotes from the guru seat that he's in.
Right.
I mean, so he's 19 years my senior, and he's worked on himself a lot longer than that. So maturity-wise, he's far more than 19 years ahead of me, and he's ahead of most. But this approval paradox thing that we're going to talk about, I said, you and I have had some conversations where, it's like, oh man, I deal with that too, from whatever, from whatever different things. So, mine is kind of centered from the marriage position, because of some broken stuff that I took from the first marriage.
Right.
Which completed its journey nearly 21 years ago, almost the time that this airs. So that one's a long way in the rearview mirror. But you know what isn't in the rearview mirror? The baggage that I just started offloading.
Right.
And the different things. That's still there. Apparently, I had like 2 semi-trailers loaded together. And I'm coming in with it. But you can get that through different things, through stuff with your parents, stuff with good friends, things that could be traumatic relationally, and different things. So before we get too far into it though, how you been doing, man? It's been a minute since we've sat down. You doing good?
I'm good.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay, well you don't seem like it. I mean, you seem a little bit frustrated, like some of this stuff was a pain in the neck.
Well,
we've been trying to get this thing off the ground for nearly 2 hours.
It's so interesting how every time I add something or change something, you're learning, you're adding things, and then
it'll be easy.
You think, I'm going to add a little focus monitor.
Absolutely.
Because I'm apparently going blind, and we've had soft focus issues. And just adding that little thing took me an extra 10, 15 minutes just to plug it in.
Right.
Well, and that's just like a small thing, and then we changed the table setup and trying to figure out.
Right.
Man, I wish I was an audio guy.
I'm telling you what, it's the easy way.
I'm not even a video guy. Yeah. That's the problem.
Yeah, you're like, hey man, I've got to figure this out, and I'm like, well, that sounds like a you problem.
Thank God for
I'm
Lincoln,
an audio guy.
man.
Yeah, Lincoln
He gave me some advice on the cameras. We'll see if it comes out better this week.
Well, if not, Lincoln, that's on you, brother.
Yeah.
So
what are we paying you for anyway?
Right?
Hey, speaking of, I think I owe you some money.
It's okay.
Pretty sure I owe you some money.
I've kind of forgot about that, but so yeah.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it,
yeah,
we're gonna take a break.
So I gotta go write a check.
So pain in the neck. Yeah. So and you were there. This is gonna be Saturday. So about eight days ago, we had our church late day. No, 9 days ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that night before, I just had this bad pain, just right at the base of my skull, right? Mm-hmm. And it was kind of puffy, and I was like, I've got some weird middle-aged man zit coming up on the back of my head, and but it hurt like all the words my mom gets mad at if I say them.
Right,
okay?
right.
It was awful, and then I slept for a couple hours that night. Now, I'm going to have 35 plus people at the lake, and I'm in charge of carrying them around and trying to keep them alive. Out on the open water.
The way you drove that tube around sometimes, I just wonder how committed you are to that. I'm just saying.
That is a very good perspective. But yeah, but I woke up that morning. I'm thinking something's wrong.
Yeah,
man. And I'm sitting there. You know, it's 1:48 a.m. I'm laying there in pain. I can't lay this way. I can't lay this way because it pulls. You know, and I can't lay back. There's no place to let everything. Any side of the head pushed or pulled or pressed. Mm-hmm. Man. And I'm like, it's a tumor. This is it. This is my last hurrah. It's amazing how fatalistic you can be during the middle of the night. Now, I can be fatalistic as it is, okay? But somewhere around 2 a.m., I go, it's not a tumor, you know, like the old, you know. So, and I overdid it on caffeine because that was what it was necessary to get me there and to do the event. So I was skied. But as that started to tone down a little bit, the pain just kept on going. I wound up doing an on-demand video doctor's appointment in the middle of the lake.
Thank God for technology.
Right. Well,
I mean, we're sitting here complaining about it, but
but we live and die by it.
Yeah.
I was going to die without it. It felt like. But I call your wife, and she's like, I'm offline, you know, this, that, and the other, but you need to do this to get in the system and, you know, make this happen. And Dr. And she's, yes, ma'am, you know, and so I do exactly what she says.
It's always a good way of approaching life is to do exactly what she says.
I'm saying. Yeah. Now, she told me what it was. She said, you have shingles.
She's like, I know what you have.
I'm like,
what? I thought that was an old people thing.
I'm 44. What? I don't want them. They go on the roof of the house, and it feels like someone is roofing the back of my neck. All right. So, anyway, she's like, if you've, you know, how long has it been? And give her the times and whatnot. And I give the information to the doctor as well. They say, yes, sir, we're going to get you these meds. Okay. All right. Well, that's good. They call in a prescription. It's a prescription that actually Dina has as well. So, like for fever blisters. Like Valtrex, it's the same stuff that they call for shingles if you catch it in early. So she travels with it, has it in her purse because she's the fever blister queen. Whatever. Rain, shine, cold, hot, happy, sad, don't matter.
Yeah.
All right. So I call her. All right. I got a guy from the lake, Daniel Ravenhorse, who was my knight in shining arbor that day. And several of y'all came to my aid, but he drove to town.
Except for me. I just showed up late.
Several of y'all were there for me. Daniel drove to town. He intersected Dina. So they met, you know, at a town that was kind of equidistant for the both of them.
Yeah.
Less than 45 minutes after I got off the phone with the doctor, I had the meds that I needed that would keep the viral death from getting worse.
Right.
Now, it didn't take away the pain, okay? Yeah. So I was munching on Advil and Tylenol like Tic Tacs, you know, just have some. It's good. Take some more, you know. I didn't really do that.
I'm realizing now there might be a correlation between the aggressiveness with which you drove the tubes and the way that you were feeling.
Now that you mention it.
Anyways.
It was awful, Jimmy. So it was just
I've heard it because I've never had shingles.
So it's outside and inside. So I just have this little bitty bump back here that's like a nickel size, right? But if I touch it, it's like someone's setting it on fire. It felt like,
jeez.
It was bizarre.
Everybody I know who's ever had shingles says it's absolutely awful.
And that was Kim's big concern. She's like, this thing can really go crazy if you don't stop it.
Yeah.
All right. So I have what is, palm of my hand, you know, that much, this type of thing going on right here.
Yeah.
I've heard, and I guess before Valtrex or whatever, people that have it, and it's like just everywhere.
Kim was saying that it like picks a side of the body.
Yeah.
And then it just like burns that like nerve, that entire nerve just goes off. Like,
holy.
It sounds horrible.
Yeah. So, and now I caught it in a hurry. And so, but for people that maybe that medicine doesn't work for or anything, my heart goes out to you.
Well, and it's funny. It's funny because we had this conversation,
awful.
Kim and I, about so this generation, our kids, most of them got the chickenpox vaccine situation.
Right.
Which is the first time we've had a population that large, I guess, that's gotten the vaccine because it's the chickenpox virus that generates it, right?
Yeah.
They don't have...
It's the mature version.
Right. Ow. Just like hit my...
You might have shingles. Sorry.
Hashtag. Anyways.
Hashtag not shingles. It's not shingles.
So...
Not a shingle.
But she was saying that it may be the case that we're getting to the point where shingles might stop happening because the virus isn't in their system like it is in your... Because I got chicken. I have a little scar right here from chickenpox, so...
Yeah, and I totally, I totally had them.
So it just sits there dormant, like some kind of Borg nanobot. Borg decides to take us over. Sorry, Star Trek. I love Star Trek.
Borg nanobot.
Borg, not Borg. Borg. Just want to make sure we're recording. Yeah, we're recording. Okay.
Okay, good.
At least one camera. I'm not hooked into the other one.
That's okay.
It's okay. We got one angle.
Regular dad, man. We're doing what we can. It's been it. Look, before this, you had 30 minutes or better. You were doing fuel and weight calculations on the plane because you got a big trip.
Yeah.
What is it, tomorrow?
Yeah.
Heading out tomorrow?
Going to Monterey. But I got to pick up some people. So we're going to go over here, we're going to pick up some people, and come back here and pick up some more people, and go down here and pick up some more people, and then we'll go to Monterey.
Golly.
It's cool, man.
It is. It's a life that I know about because of you.
Yeah.
Right? And I know a couple of people. It's not like they're not my friends, but I know a couple of people that are in the... Yeah, we got on the jet. You know, they have their own plane. They have full-time pilots, but...
Right.
But they go, oh, yeah, we're all going to go over here. But they would skip around.
Yeah, go grab the friends.
Yeah. And literally go out to California and grab dinner.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
They'd leave around noon.
Yeah.
Early dinner out there.
Yeah.
And then it'd get late, because come back. But
it's cool, man.
And that plane would scoot, too.
I mean, this airplane I'm flying is the fastest one that I fly.
Okay.
At this organization.
Okay.
But it's not super fast. It's pretty fast, but it's not
G6.
super fast. Yeah, Gulfstreams move. Partly because they fly so high.
They were getting it.
So when you get up that high, you get that thin air, you get that true airspeed up.
Yeah.
You guys can all look that up, get some aviation education.
Yeah.
Ground speed goes up. Get up in the good winds.
Oh,
actually, in the 50s where the Gulfstreams fly, that winds are actually dropping off by that point, probably. But
the guy that I know that has his plane posted a picture once. He's chilling with his dog, and they're pushing Mach whatever because they got a.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what their we call MMO, the max Mach that you can go. Yeah. I don't know what a Gulfstream's MMO is. I don't know if they're probably around 0.9.
He was
so.
He was
That's 90% the speed of sound.
Yeah.
So you're never.
But he got the tailwind, and they were getting it.
Cooking. Yeah. My record's 650 knots across the ground.
Yeah.
That's my record, which is not fast compared to an airplane like that. So
no.
Because that was a 200 knot tailwind.
Yeah.
So we were doing like 450 knots true.
200.
Yeah. Yeah. It happens.
Yeah. We picked up 45 minutes coming back from Panama. We had hopped back from Bolivia, and the pilot said, "Hold on just a minute. We're going to climb to this or whatever." And I was young. But we literally did. We picked up 45 minutes from an already.
Yeah, if you can get right in the middle of a jet stream and it's favorable to you, you'll pick up some time.
Well, he told me, he said we're flying in 140 mile an hour tailwind, or 140 knot tailwind, he probably said. But I was like, I just remember being, oh my gosh, winds like that. But it's blue sky out there.
Well, it's just that river air, the jet stream, right? So.
All right, so approval paradox.
Yeah.
We're going to fire this off on you. just kind of catch up a little bit. But so approval paradox, this is something that I realized that I was dealing with Dina and different things, what I was trying to do. And I would do it in certain key relationships that were really valuable to me.
Mm-hmm.
But not in all of them, because I wouldn't do it with you. I don't think, but I'd never really had to, you know. But any place where there could be like maybe a little friction, and so we're a frictionless couple, you and me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're definitely a frictionless couple.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry.
yeah.
I should have chosen a different.
I mean, it's in the can now.
Right. Sorry. Should have thought about that before.
No, it's good. It's
okay.
Good.
Yeah. So, but like, so church leaders, church leadership, because I want them to approve of the job I'm doing.
Can
for
you
them.
define approval paradox for me?
Yeah. Okay. So approval paradox. You don't want to basically say, screw your approval, but that's not what you need to work for. So your others' approval of you is not your guiding, your guiding force to whether or not you are okay. All right.
Like you're saying, you're not. That isn't the definition of it. You're just stating.
No, I probably should have crafted some type of romantic definition.
That's like an objective truth.
Yes.
Other people's approval is not something that you
need
to be living by, right?
Yes. So you, by and large, approve of what I do.
Right.
Okay. You don't like my taste in trucks. Okay. And that's okay. That's fine. Because you're an official off-roader. Okay.
Not anymore.
Well,
since I moved to Texas, where we only play in off-road parks down here. Anyways. Sorry. I'm sorry.
It's kind of uncalled for. So,
well, an off-road park is like downhill mountain biking and riding them up the ski lift with your mountain bike. But anyway, I won't get into all that. So,
please
go ahead.
All right. So, let me boil it down to just my wife and try to keep doing. Good Lord,
is that those shingles?
I think it must be.
Yeah.
So let me try to just centralize it to that, and then you can.
I'm sorry
to
ask for a definition.
No. So that's okay. So I want Dina to approve of me.
Yeah.
And the things that I do. Okay. But if I live my life in accordance with whether or not she approves of me, then that's where things can go awry.
So can I try to? Would you say that it's a good thing?
Approval is good.
It's a good thing to care about
God.
Other people's approval.
Yeah.
But it can't be the core value that you use to judge whether or not you're living a good life.
Yes. Yeah.
Or be your goal.
So I would, because like conflict in relationships is healthy. I'm not going to dive into that, but you need to resolve differences.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. But see, I wouldn't do that. Okay. Because if I did that, then there was an opportunity that she could disapprove of my opinion. Okay. And if I did that, that would lead to rejection. Okay. And I've talked about that on here before, that was a huge issue for me.
Did you perceive disapproval as rejection?
100%.
Yeah, because I do the same thing.
Even, and I'm still rewriting that.
Yeah.
Okay. But right now,
that's a well-worn rut.
I struggle to go. I really have to think and go, okay, there is active disapproval here, and this is not rejection. And I literally have to, dig in to keep from, going off in the rut again,
Yeah.
So that, and Dina and I, when we're talking now, if she says something, because this has opened up a whole new world for us in so many good ways, but it's ways that it's not comfortable for me.
Right. No.
Now, the other ways weren't healthy or productive, but they were comfortable because they were familiar.
Well, exercise isn't comfortable either.
Yeah, and I'm still doing that, but
yeah.
Gosh.
I mean, but like that, anything that we do where growth is involved will most likely stress the things that we've built that need to grow.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And this is definitely, that's so true. It's true for me too, man. When Kim isn't approving of something, and here's for me the dividing line, I think, is it's not that she doesn't approve of me.
Right.
She doesn't approve of the opinion that I have, the thing I want to do, the thing I did.
Right. Yeah.
And that's different than not approving of me, but I've only just now starting to separate those two things.
Right. And
So-
I would have told you, no, you have to be in complete agreement on every last little thing. And, you know, and so it's like, all right, I'll move to whatever place that makes, or that where I find that Dina approves.
Right.
Okay. This was really hard on her, and she didn't really know that that's what I was doing, or that why I was.
Yeah, because
you know,
she's not allowed to be her own person. Because
precisely.
if she loves you and her disapproval is hurting you because
Right.
it's equated to rejection, then what's she gonna do? She's gonna stop communicating.
Right.
She's
Yeah.
gonna like try to change what she thinks about something and start equating that to bad things because it's hurting you.
Yes.
And so all of a
Yeah.
sudden she has to shrink. You know,
Yeah.
my wife has used this phrase in the months leading up to some very significant changes in healing that I've experienced.
Yep.
I feel like there's no room for me in this relationship. That's what she would say. Mm-hmm. And that's part of what she's talking about.
And the way you're living, you're like, that's the most unfathomable thing you can
Right,
think,
because to me,
you're doing
she's everything.
exactly
Right? It's
right. And it's like, there's no room for me, and I'm like,
what are you talking about? You're everything.
and that's the thing, like, push me over there. So I'm mother.
Yeah.
You're the
Oh
whole
man,
reason
we had some knockdown dragouts about that. She'd say that, and I'd be like, I'm not good enough. I'm never going to be good enough for you.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not crazy.
No.
But and so this is just a couple months old for me.
Yeah.
Okay. By the time y'all hear this, probably 3 months, probably. All right. So, but I'm like, where does this come from? All right. So in the beginning, young age, positive feedback loops. They teach us to seek approval,
Right.
and we don't really know. You play with the baby, you know, you bounce them, and you do the thing, and then the baby grins or laughs or whatever, and then their parents go, "Yay!" and they cheer them on and they celebrate and they whatever. Okay, so there are healthy things that are approval. You know, even yes, ma'am, no, sir. You know, the manners. Okay, then that's a way. Okay, I know that if I come and ask, may I? You know, and then I'll use the manners that there's. My chances of getting what I'm asking for much better. So
it's just like it's Pavlov's dogs.
It's exactly.
It's like
And so it is a healthy nutrient, but if it's overdone, it can become toxic.
I mean the physiology or psychology of it is built into us has a purpose.
Right. Yeah.
But when it's out of balance.
Yeah, and so when it starts to shift, when it starts to get out of balance, what happens is we're seeking the reward.
Yeah.
Okay. That quick fix that approval offers. So we seek reward rather than what's right.
Yes. Also, I think we equate the reward to the person.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like they become the same thing.
Yeah.
The person's like the relationship maybe, I guess, is, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it's anyways.
So, and when that happens there, and I wrote this, I said we're conditioned to compromise every last thing, not healthy compromise. Anything that we believe, what we what we feel, what's important to us, the emotions that we may have. There, I say compromise. It's sacrifice.
Yeah.
Okay, because it is just everything is on the table to be here. Give it up. Sorry.
You're the one who has to deal with the audio.
Yeah. But so anyway, we wind up conditioned to make these sacrifices, and then it's just sacrificing a little bit of who we are. But that winds up building resentment.
Exactly.
And then you get that little touch of, well, there's no room for me in the relationship, and you're already touchy because of the
but see, isn't that interesting how the dysfunction, right?
Yeah.
Because the person who is seeking the approval,
right,
in an imbalanced way, is resenting the person they're seeking approval from, because the seeking of approval is requiring them to sacrifice things that they value. The person who is having the approval sought, if they're healthy to some degree and perceiving the pain in the other person who they love, is also sacrificing things that they think and believe and want to say.
Yep.
And generating resentment.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
one more concept, and then we're going to pick up with part 2. But lay this on you: seeking isolated approval for approval, that just only seeking that, and not health, and not balance, and not, the things that help a relationship thrive. Seeking isolated approval is selfish.
absolutely.
And you're wanting to be unselfish because everything's willing to be sacrificed, but the approach. Somebody calling me. Sorry.
It's all right.
The actual that process is a selfish one.
Right.
So it's you
It's
are
pride-based.
selfish.
You're trying to do something that makes you feel better about yourself.
Yep.
And
It's how you're validating yourself.
It's like a internal feedback loop, which I think pride kind of is. It's like this internal feedback loop that kind of just like, I do this thing that makes me a better person. Now I feel better about myself. I do this thing, I mean, not that it's, again, that's another topic, I guess, but it's like that's built into us too, this like internal feedback loop of, hey, you did this nice thing, internal high five, internal pat on the back, high five, whatever. But like that can go too far.
Don't pat too over here now. We're still a little tender.
Yeah.
Woo. Okay. So we're gonna pick up on the next episode, and we'll kick off. We touched on it a little bit, but we'll pick back up with how disapproval leads to rejection.
All right.
We'll catch y'all next time.
See ya.